back to Baking with B. I hope you guys all had a happy Thanksgiving. I'm very excited because I have my roommate slash cousin slash best friend here making something with me today. This is his recipe, so I'll let him tell you all about it.
Yeah, so I'm Parker, Kellen's cousin. So we are making can't leave alone bars, which has been something that my family and I have made for a long time. It's kind of a go-to family gathering recipe. It's been requested by many of my friends here, so I'm excited to make it and share with everybody today. Alright, so first we're going to make the cake portion of this. We'll melt some chocolate a little bit later. We're going to crack 2 eggs. And then we're going to take some oil. We have a 1/3 cup of oil here.
Do you have to use a certain type, or can just like canola?
Canola or vegetable, either way.
Just not olive.
It's not olive. And then we are going to put in 1 whole packet of white cake mix, whichever brand you prefer is fine. All right, and so now we're going to start. All right, so now this has been mixed, we are in the process of putting about half of it in the bottom of the pan. We're gonna save the other half to put on top after we melt some chocolate and pour it on top. There's no really good way to do this. The most important part is just make sure it's not too thin so that it doesn't burn. So we're almost done spreading this out, and then the next step we will be by the stove melting some chocolate. All right, so now time to make the chocolate part that's gonna go in the middle of the layers of cake. So we have half a stick or a 1/4 cup of butter. We have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. It's going to pour out very slowly.
It looks like chocolate.
Yes. And we have 1 cup of chocolate chips. And I'm going to take over to the stove behind me and melt them.
Do you pick any type of chocolate chip in particular, like dark or milk?
So these are milk chocolate. I've done it with dark chocolate. It's also very good that way. So I'm gonna just take this over to the stove and heat it up. Burner. Okay, now we wait. All right, so this is almost melted. I'm just waiting on this little piece of butter to finish melting. Just a tip, when you're melting on the stove like this, it's important to keep stirring continuously so that you don't burn it on the bottom. Because 1, it won't come out that good, and 2, it stinks and it's very hard to clean burnt milk. And then come over here and just pour it out.
Ooh. Look at that. That's cool.
All right, so that's most of that. Oh, we're just gonna smooth it over. It is very hot since it did just come off the stove.
Science.
And now the next step is to put on a little bit more cake mix on top. So I did keep it in the fridge while I was melting that to keep it from getting super sticky. The easiest way to do this is just to take a little bit on your fork, like that, and grab it, and then just kind of make it really thin, and drop it.
Oh dang, okay.
If it gets it's very sticky. If it sticks to your hands a lot, you can always rinse them and do it with your hands a little bit wet so that they're not as sticky. All right, so we've gotten most of the rest of that batter out and done a pretty good job covering the top.
It's like a painting or
layer.
something.
There's no real science to this. The point is that it looks random and scattered.
Pretty good batter.
Yes, this is one of my favorite batters to eat. Okay, so that looks good. So now it's just gonna go in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes.
Check it when we come back.
All right, so they're done. So we're gonna take them out.
That's exactly 20 minutes.
Exactly 20 minutes. I can tell that they're done because they're a little bit brown on the top. And now we're gonna let them cool before we cut them up.
All right, I'm excited.
That's
so
not super
what
pretty, but
what
it's
I
pretty
like
good.
to do with these, I like to freeze it because Parker taught it to me, and I just think they taste so good frozen. All right, cheers. But they're all so good warm. Recipe is gonna be in the description below. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever, and tune in next weekend.
Bye, everyone.